Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Beauty, also known as The Rich Aunt. I'm your girl that talks about finances like we are talking about umgozi nje. I try to break down financial content to a level where we can all understand, right? Today I'm back with another video. It's just gonna be a sit down. We're just gonna have a conversation, nothing hectic. So today I just want to talk about. Okay, well, firstly, this video was inspired by a walk that I attended yesterday. I attended the Unlimited Walk Fest. So I'm part of this amazing community that is led by Mpumile Dwaba. And yesterday we had an Unlimited Walk Fest where we were walking 5 kilometers. That was just a portion of the day, and we had such an amazing day, right? But then part of this video will be just based on the 5 kilometer walk that I went on, right? So as we were walking, we all had our why, and I was walking for financial health, right? The color that was represented by financial health was the green color. So I did the snails to support the walk for financial health. And as we were walking the 5 kilometers, I was having an inner conversation with myself, when it comes to my finances, which was my why, right? Working for financial health. And the conversation that I was having with myself was to look at where I am currently with my finances, where we want to be, and how we want to manage finances in 2026. And I believe that October and November are the best time to actually sit down and really have these conversations with yourself. Start planning your finances, start putting together your vision board and all of that, right? So as I was on my walk, I was thinking about where I am financially. And the answer that I gave to myself was, number one, I'm stable financially. I am really, really stable. I can afford the things that I'm committed to. I don't live paycheck to paycheck. Uh, I'm well maintained and sustained, man. But I still have a few gaps. We still sometimes spend outside of the budget. We still sometimes don't budget for the little funds that come in, and as I was on the walk, those were some of the things that I was thinking about, to say that there are certain behaviors that I want to change when it comes to my finances, right? There are certain goals that I have when it comes to my finances. And one of my goals is to save up for my emergency fund. Next year, I want to build an emergency fund, and it's something that I've always wanted to do for a very long time, but there were other goals before the emergency fund. And now that we have ticked some of the goals off on my financial goals, we are definitely going for building an emergency fund, right? So I just want to inspire someone to say that, how do you want your finances to look like in 2026 and the years to come? Because you need to make the decision today. You need to make that decision now, right? Because you cannot say in 2026, then you start saying, this is how I want my finances to be. The real job starts now. The strategic planning starts now. So I want us to go on the journey of reflecting on our finances, setting a financial goal, understanding our financial behaviors. That was also one conversation that I was having with myself, to say, what is my financial behavior right now? How does payday make me feel? How does money make me feel? Previously, money used to make me feel very anxious, when it's around the 20th, the 21st, I start getting anxious, because I'm not sure if the salary will cover for everything. But right now, I'm in a state where I'm very confident. When it comes to my finances, I'm so confident. When it comes to payday, I look forward to it. I'm excited about it, So obviously, it's been a journey. So I had to identify some of those things as to, where am I with my finances? How do they make me feel? And I want us to go on this journey together to understand, how does money make you feel right now? Like, what is your relationship with money? how are you handling money? Are we budgeting the right way? Are we doing the right things? Are we paying for the things that we are supposed to pay for? Are we aware of things that are happening in our finances? I normally use this few months to do a financial analysis, to go and look back into the year to say, how did this year go? What did we add on our commitments? What did we pay off? Review on the financial goals that we've had, and also as I review the financial goals that I had for 2025, then I'm also planning for my goals for 2026, 2027, because there's some of the things that it's not going to take you a year to pay off a certain debt or save up a certain amount of money. But when you sit down and plan for 2026, it's not just for 2026, but it is also for the years to come, right? And the other thing about having a financial conversation with yourself is that it also unlocks, other parts of your life to say, okay, if this is where I am financially and this is where I want to go, will my salary alone really get me to the point where I want to go to with my finances? Then at this moment, you're able to have career conversations with yourself to say that, okay, this is my financial goals, this is the salary that I'm earning, and this is the gap that I have. How do I close this gap? Do I go and look for a side hustle? Do I actually grow within the company? What is the next role that I can actually go for? How much that does that role pay? Will it close the gap that I have? What is it that I have to do? But then I got to realize that, when you have this conversation with yourself, it unlocks so much. Like, it really, really unlocks a lot of conversation within. Like, I couldn't wait to come back and sit down with my budget. It's something that I've been doing. Before I actually recorded this video, I was busy with my budget, and I was starting to budget for next year already as to what do I want to see out on my budget. Like, this thing I no longer wanted. So if it's a retail account, whatever, if it's a commitment or if it's money that I give to someone, I was like, okay, some of the things we need to cut off. But as we cut them off, what do we need to do then? I was like, what? The things that I want, like I said, next year, one of my goals is to save for my emergency fund. I was calculating my salary 6 months. Like, guys, I have to save a lot of money. It's not going to take me the full 12 months here, 2026. We're gonna have to go into 2027. So already I'm doing my budget. Like, my budget is set. Yeah, January 2026. I know what it looks like. And as I'm busy budgeting, I can see the gap, and I'm like, okay, where are we going to get this amount of money? Are we then gonna either start looking for another job? Or am I going to look for a side hustle? What am I going to do? Obviously, that's a private conversation, like, as to what am I going to do? We will see when we come back to give a testimony to say, on this day, when I was doing my budget, this is what I realized. And I realized that this is the extra amount of money that we need, and where are we going to get it? It's something that I'm still praying about, but it's also a conversation that I want you to have with yourself. Especially if you are working, you still have a lot of opportunities to grow. Sometimes growth at work, it is not just for the title, the position, just moving from one level to the other, but it also has an impact on your finances. Sometimes you are sitting with real great potential, and because you feel somehow with the next role and you feel like I can't do it, maybe go back to your finances and really find the reason as to why you should go to the next level, as to why you should start looking for another job, as to why you must start that side hustle. You never know, but if until you sit down and look at your finances, have financial goals, then you'll be able to make certain decisions to say, what, this must go. This behavior must go. I know that when I started my own financial journey, like, it impacted a whole lot of things in my life. One of my goals was that I want to join gym, right? And last year I was in no position to join gym, right? Until this year when my cell phone contract came to an end. And I inquired with Vision Active as to what is their monthly the monthly premium, right? The monthly membership fee that I have to pay. And the amount was exactly the same amount that I was paying at Vodacom, and because this has been something that I've always wanted to do, I got the opportunity, and I knew that this contract, when it ends, we are not renewing. We are definitely taking this money and allocating to the certain goal, that we have. And going to the gym was on my vision board. But when I was doing my vision board, I knew that between January and June, it's not gonna happen, right? Because I don't have that amount. Your membership fee was a Vision Active, but then it was part of my goal. So the things that you want, right? The things that you desire the most, you know that they need money, right? So you cannot deny yourself those things because there are certain things that you don't want to cut off. I mean, one thing for sure, I could have upgraded my phone. I could have upgraded this phone, and I think the contract that I was paying for, it was not actually for my phone, it was for my little sister's phone. And now that it came to an end, I mean, I can say that I'm used to paying this amount. Why not get a new phone? But the goal has been there to say that in July we are joining gym, and I joined gym in July, and it's the best thing that I've ever done for myself, for my health. I mean, if you look at me. But honestly speaking, that has been a goal on my vision board, and to be able to pay for it, to not even feel that I've added something onto my own financial commitment, I feel so good. I feel so good because I knew, or rather I had an idea of how going to gym would make me feel, right? And I'm getting exactly that feeling that I imagined. And even when that David Ola goes off, I am so happy because I mean that is my happy place. Mentally, I'm at a very good space because of gym. So like I said, it took things like sitting down and doing a financial analysis that actually made us to be here. So I want to challenge you to say, go and have a financial conversation with yourself. The questions you should ask yourself is, what do we want in 2026? Where do we want to be when it comes to our finances? What are the behaviors that we need to change? So let's go and sit down and have that conversation with ourselves and start planning for 2026. 2026 is just 3-4 months away, so we might as well start getting ready, start doing those budget, and start setting those financial goals. So until the next one, I love you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.